Hey, welcome back. Have you ever been to a field? It's such a beautiful place. I mean, the sun's rays falling on those yellow flowers of mustard and the plants blooming with the cold breeze. It's amazing. The farm is also a sacred place because the life we are is sustained by the food we eat, and that food is grown in these vast stretches of land. We also live in one of the most populated countries in the world. And in order to provide food to our population, various agricultural practices have been developed over years. Let's look at these agricultural practices. Our ancestors used to travel to distant places to eat raw fruits and vegetables. Gradually, they learned hunting and started consuming animal flesh. Later, they became capable of cultivating rice and wheat. Now, this laid the foundation of agriculture. One important thing associated with agriculture is the crop. Now, crop is the type of plant that is grown in a vast stretch of land. Like wheat, rice is generally sown in large fields. Now, when we say rice crop, it means the entire area is covered only with rice plants. Wheat cannot be grown there. In India, we have different climatic conditions that prevail all around the year, like summers, winters, etc. Now, based on these climatic conditions, two main types of crops are grown in India. The first is the Kharif crop. Now, these crops are grown during rainy season. In India, typically the rainy season starts from June and ends in September. Rice, cotton, pulses and millets are grown during this season. The second are the Rabi crops. Now, these are winter crops that are mainly grown during winter season. These are sown in the month of October and harvested in March. Chickpea, mustard, wheat, grams, barley are the Rabi crops. Now, let's learn about some of the important practices of crop production. Now, have you ever seen a farmer's equipment like plows, sprayers, planters, etc.? Now, using these equipments, farmers perform certain activity in the agricultural fields. Now, these activities are called as agricultural practices. We'll learn about different types of agricultural practices one by one. Now, the first is the preparation of the soil. If we have to perform well in any activity, we need a good foundation, right? I mean, if you want to build a strong building, you need a strong foundation. The same applies to plants as well. A healthy plant will grow only if it is grown in a well-prepared soil. When the plant grows in the soil is turned and loosened so that the roots grow deeper into the soil. Now, this allows the air to reach the roots for its proper growth. Soil is the rich source of nutrients. It has all important minerals and water for the plant's growth. However, only a few layers of topsoil support the plant growth. Loosening of the soil allows nutrient-rich soil to be at the top so that the plants can utilize this rich soil for their growth. Now, this process of loosening and turning of the soil is called as ploughing or tilling. The manures are also added before ploughing so that it can be properly mixed with the soil. A plough is an equipment made of wood or iron, and it is used for the loosening purpose. Apart from ploughing, leveling is another activity that is done. Leveling prepares the soil for sowing and irrigation. Now, let's talk about some tools that are widely used in agriculture. The first tool is the plough. Now, this tool is being used since ancient times by the farmers. Traditionally, ploughs are drawn by oxen or horses, but in modern days, these are drawn by tractors. A plough is made of a triangular iron strip known as plowshare. It also has a long wooden piece called plough shaft. A handle is placed at one end of the shaft, and the other end is attached to the bull's neck. A farmer can easily manage two bulls with a plough and take them to the fields for ploughing. Another important equipment that is used is the hoe. It's a versatile tool used for removing weeds, harvesting root crops, loosening of soil, and also providing shape to the soil. Hoe is made of a long rod of iron or wood. A strong and broad plate of iron is attached to its one end. The iron plate acts like a blade. Cultivators act like the plow, but instead of animals, they are drawn by tractors. Now this saves time and labor for the farmers. Now when the soil is ready, farmers sow the seeds in it. Let's see how actually the sowing happens. Now the trees, plants and the shrubs that you see over here were initially just the seeds. The seeds were sown in the soil, watered, taken care of so that they develop into these plants and trees. Now before sowing, it's very important that you choose a healthy seed. Now you must be thinking all seeds are of same shape and size. How do we differentiate the healthy ones from the unhealthy ones? Well, we have a method. Now let's take a beaker and fill half of it with water. Let's add some seeds and we'll stir them well. If we wait for some time and observe the seeds, we'll find that some of the seeds settle down at the bottom of the beaker, while some float at the top. Remember, the seeds that got settled at the bottom are the healthy ones, while the seeds that are floating at the top are the unhealthy ones. Now, this method is easy if we are sowing some seeds for our garden. But what about the farmer who has to sow in large fields? Is there another method? Yes, there is. Now, the farmers use specialized tools for sowing. The first one is the traditional tool. It's a funnel-shaped tool. Seeds are placed in the funnel and they are allowed to pass through the pipes having sharp ends. The ends go into the soil and the seeds are placed inside the soil. In modern days, a seed drill is used for the purpose of sowing. In this method, seeds are sown at equal distance and with sufficient depth inside the soil with the help of tractors. Of course, the time and the labor that is saved is enormous when we use a seed drill. Now, after getting sown, they are also covered by the soil. The seeds are covered by the soil because birds might eat these seeds. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll talk about manures, fertilizers and irrigations. See you there.